Prime Minister represents Jamaica at Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting in Rwanda, holds bilateral talks and engages with diaspora, and condemns killing of mother and 4 children. You're watching Jamaica House Weekly. I'm Anthony Morgan. This past week, Prime Minister Andrew Holness was on the African continent to participate in the 26th Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting. The June 20 to 25 event was held in Kigali, Rwanda under the theme, Delivering a Common Future, Connecting, Innovating, Transforming. The newly expanded 56-member grouping discussed a range of topics including digital transformation, climate change, food security, sustainable energy, and the blue economy. While addressing the Commonwealth Business Forum's Heads of Government and Business Leaders Roundtable, Mr. Holness called on developing countries to start using technology as a tool to create economic value. The Prime Minister urged countries to move away from being merely consumers of technology and instead be originators, creators, and innovators. At the same time, Mr. Holness said leaders must ensure there is equal access for all citizens.
The internet and digital technologies are critical drivers of wealth creation and prosperity in our society. Governments must be deliberate in ensuring that this public good is equitably accessible to all citizens. Otherwise, it could come to define a new dimension of poverty.
Wednesday's meeting was held under the theme Bridging the Digital Divide. By Thursday, the Prime Minister was sharing his thoughts on the Glasgow Climate Change Pact goal of redoubling adaptation financing by 2025. He also spoke on the opportunities and challenges in developing quality adaptation proposals and scaling up projects by COP27, slated for Egypt later this year. Prime Minister Holness made those statements at a panel discussion on innovation access to climate financing. Also Thursday, the Prime Minister attended the high-level Kigali Summit on malaria and neglected tropical diseases, which continue to have a devastating effect on world populations. On Saturday, the Prime Minister visited the Kigali Genocide Museum to pay his respects to those who lost their lives in 1994's Rwandan genocide. Earlier in the day, Mr. Holness attended the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting retreat. The body discussed matters of global importance, including the effect of the Russia-Ukraine conflict on food and oil prices, the impact of climate change on the planet and the world economy, as well as the pandemic's burden on health and well-being. The Prime Minister closed out his visit to Rwanda at a reception hosted by the Jamaican diaspora in Kigali. And following elections to select the Secretary General of the Commonwealth Friday, Prime Minister Andrew Holness congratulated Baroness Patricia Scotland on her re-election to the post. Baroness Scotland will serve until 2024 after a 27-24 vote to secure the top job. While he congratulated Baroness Scotland for a good contest, Mr. Holness also extended commendations to Minister Kamina Johnson-Smith, who he said ran a distinguished and exemplary campaign. The Prime Minister says Jamaica remains deeply proud of Minister Johnson-Smith, who won the respect and admiration of many countries within the Commonwealth. Mr. Holness has also reiterated Jamaica's commitment to the Commonwealth, its diversity, and its potential to deliver for its people. Prime Minister Holness capitalized on his visit to Rwanda by meeting with several heads of government on the margins of the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting. He held talks with Rwandan President Paul Kagame aimed at deepening cooperation between the countries, discussed ways in which the Commonwealth as an institution can better serve its members with the President of Nigeria, and shared an intent to deepen Jamaica's cooperation with Samoa when he met that island's Prime Minister. While en route to Rwanda, Prime Minister Andrew Holness condemned Tuesday's gruesome killing of 31-year-old mother Kimisha Wright and her 4 children, who ranged in age from 23 months to 15 years at Cocoa Peace in Clarendon. While expressing heartbreak at the horrific incident, Mr. Holness called on Jamaicans to take an all-of-society approach to eradicating violence at its root. He also promised to expend the full resources of the police to catch and prosecute those responsible.
It is heartbreaking, heartrending. This kind of violence cannot be allowed to continue without a response, without action on the part of the government. The police commissioner and the Minister of National Security have both assured me that they have put all the resources in place to ensure that the perpetrator is caught. Already they have a suspect, a person of interest, and they have already good leads in capturing that person.
23-year-old Roshane Barnett has since been charged with 5 counts of murder in relation to the incident. Meanwhile, the Child Protection and Family Services Agency and other state agencies have been deployed to provide support. The Member of Parliament, Minister with Responsibility for Information, Robert Morgan, has also activated his internal support mechanisms to assist the family and community at this time. Before his departure to the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting, Mr. Holness met with the heads of the Jamaica Constabulary and Defence Forces to discuss security matters. He was joined by wife Juliet Holness and Minister without Portfolio Robert Morgan. And on Monday, the Prime Minister informed the nation that a donation by opposition leader Mark Golding towards the repatriation of students who were stranded in the Ukraine is to be returned. In a release, the Office of the Prime Minister said steps have been taken to return the $10,000 donated, as Mr. Golding had indicated his desire to put the funds towards each student's education costs. The funds were initially earmarked for transportation, food and other necessities related to the repatriation of the students. And that's it for Jamaica House Weekly. I'm Anthony Morgan. Be sure to join us next time for more of the news stories coming out of the Office of the Prime Minister.